Today we're going to talk about ego and people skills. So, issues with people that have obtained a big ego, as well as just general people skills so that you get what you need done. In this case, video productions. Either as a collaborator or as the person who's actually organizing everything, aka the director. Okay, so we got Alpha here, we got Deldour, we got Shadow, and we got Yamiks, and we got myself. So let us begin. Okay, Yamiks, you said you had a lot to talk about, so go ahead.
I didn't quite say I had a lot to talk about, but well, fuck it. Yeah, let's go with that, I suppose. Um, well, I suppose I could start with the personal experience with the ego thing. I don't know, maybe that's what you want to hear. So, when I started getting some positive and negative feedback, well, more positive than negative, anyways. Yeah, I started getting sort of big-headed in a way. Yeah, finally my content or work or whatever I was doing was actually being received positively and so on and so forth. So something there was good. So eventually, at one point, I caught myself thinking, well, fuck, I'm better than this guy, and so on and so forth, or you know, I shouldn't work with someone because I'm better than him, or just acted in such a pompous way. Well, I still kind of do, and that's sort of a shtick that I constantly do, and many other content creators still do.
Don't worry, we noticed.
Well, yeah, a good example, I guess, would be Jim Sterling. If you watch his Jimquisitions, he, tries to portray him with a big ego and whatnot. But realistically speaking, he's a normal guy, just like you and me, with maybe a bit more information here and there. But essentially, yeah, he hams it up. And, well, when it comes down to content, I'd say it's more fun to watch somebody being confident in what the fuck they're saying than just some dude that's reading or just scrolling and yeah, basically reading off the text that he wrote before or something like that. So, well, yeah, I guess ego. Well, when it comes to having big ego or big head or whatever, due to your success, is a double-edged sword. Yeah, well, in a way that can help you, obviously, being more entertaining, but on the other side, yeah, it might prevent you from actually being reasonable, open-minded, and approachable, I say. That's about it on my part. Guys?
Yeah, I see what you're saying, man.
Any, like, Yamiks, do you have any, I guess tips on just being more approachable?
Uh, well, when it really comes to being helpful, approachable, and a person that somebody would like to speak with and wouldn't be too afraid of when actually approaching too. I don't know. I suppose the kindness in ways is one thing, but being able to separate your online or rather the show persona or whatever people call it, and your real you, is rather important. I mean, being in front of camera or make video or something like that. You portray yourself, yeah, being the best thing ever, and yeah, that's pretty much the part of the act. But when you're actually starting to, well, talk with people and work with them, or yeah, just talk with people, I suppose it's a more, well, it's smarter to be, kinder and yeah, as I said, approachable. But well, listening to people and responding in somewhat polite way. I mean, it doesn't mean to be. I don't mean that you have to be like super, careful with your choice of wording or whatever. Being polite is, in my eyes, is more like the way you talk with the person, not being constantly demoralizing towards him or being rude. Just insulting without tongue in cheek sort of intent. You know, poking fun at your even unknown stranger can be fun if that person receives that humor and understands that that's actually supposed to be like a humor piece, not you know, an insult.
Right.
So, well, there are many ways to go about it, but essentially, don't be a complete ass. Don't be an ass.
Good idea. What about you, Del?
Well, he said a bunch of stuff that I agree with. It's about showing a little bit of humbleness when you're working with the people that you want to be working with. Like, you don't want to be this guy who's always, thinking you're the best thing ever.
A cocky piece of shit.
Yeah. People don't like to work with that because it pisses people off. Yeah, and I've seen that a lot in machinima, and it happens a lot in general. Like, it's just a natural human thing, but it's something people can definitely work on.
Alpha, do you have any thoughts?
Well, I assume one of the new people, and I've had the least experience from what I assume. Generally, my sort of like relation with people, depending on whether, well, it doesn't actually depend. I approach every person the same way, right? If you show me respect, I show you the same. In terms of ego, it's more like you have to distinguish ego and ambition, right? An ambitious person can, set himself a goal, while an egoistical person will maybe have the same sort of goal, but he will push other people aside. So you have to make like you have to distinguish between those two parts, because a lot of people already confuse those. Now, as far as ego goes, I will say, as maybe it sounds stupid, but I have a very small ego. And I don't have to show that, because the only things I do are mostly cinematics or, things where I don't have to show my character. However, when it comes to filming like big projects, you have to sort of put up either a mask or however you're going to manage that, because you're going to have to show people who's sort of the boss in that situation, because otherwise you're going to have an issue with like body actors coming around and people fucking around all the time. But generally, when it comes to interaction between the YouTuber or the content creator and his viewers, I'd say, well, be nice and be humble about your stuff, because I've sadly seen a lot of people, a lot of content creators using their position of, let's say, fame in exclamation marks, to just, piss on people, to say, oh, you're not worth my time, or, you're not worthy of talking to me because I have this and this as an achievement. If you say it in a joking way, if you say it in a serious way, well, okay then. But generally, like the others already said, if you're an asshole, people are going to, go away and not work with you anymore. And depending on where you work, if it's like Let's Play or machinima creation, that could or could not be an issue for you in the long run. Also, your reputation might go down the hill, and let's be honest, reputation is starting to get more and more important the higher you rise with your subscribers, because who doesn't love YouTube drama?
I don't like it.
It
I
was
consider people
sarcastic.
well, when you live your life just enveloped in fucking drama. Speaking about Miller right now, Planetside Miller server. Fuck you guys with all your drama. Honestly, every single day it's like those fucking cunts are insane.
But yeah, you're definitely right. However, I think that's something that I actually wanted to keep to myself for a very long time. But there's a sort of small, I believe, scale in which you can actually be sort of egoistic in the way that you say, like, you're a little, I wouldn't say you're better, because that sounds fucking retarded. It's like you don't interact with your viewers the way you would interact with friends, right? You're going to sort of a little bit keep your distance, and thus create the psychological way of, I am, I'm a content creator. I'm not friends with you, but I'm also not, like a fucking cunt towards you. If you are, well then, I don't know, you shouldn't. The person shouldn't be worth your time watching him, no matter his content. However, I think there's like the small scale where you can say, all right, I'm going to keep my distance from my viewers to sort of create this feeling, oh yeah, he's actually a content creator and not a person that you can just hop onto TeamSpeak and talk to. And because that is something that I saw a few people do, especially with lower subscriber numbers, that are just trying to befriend everyone. However, this just gives the viewers the feeling, oh, I know this person already, and the interest then decreases. But that's just something that I personally feel is the case. I don't know if other people feel the same way.